So I just been resting, and in between that, I see like little YouTube videos here and there in between me resting. And I see like these videos about like parents that take like their child's identity and the child finds out as an adult and they're facing the adult consequences. And it is flabbergasting to me that at no point in any of these videos did the parents want to apologize to the child. If anything, they doubled down and then they tried to hold their position. They didn't try, they did. They used their position like, oh, I'm the mom and you're the daughter, or I'm the mom, because it was mostly women. It was like three stories about the dad, but majority of them were moms. Like, oh, I'm a single mom, and I'm your mom. You're gonna choose me. What's more important? And I'm at this point, I'm just convinced that a lot of people abuse their position as a parent, which most of us already know. But also, I think that they treat their parenting position as a hazing ritual to inflict whatever they feel society, life, their parents, whatever what that was unfair and put on them, they put on their children. And I'm here to tell you, I am not a perfect parent, but I try very hard to swallow whatever life gave me. It's on me. Whatever choices I made, it's on me. Even if someone else made the choice and I have to pay the price, well then, like obviously being a single parent, that I have to navigate that because I'm the adult in the situation. It's not going to be fair. There are going to be bad days. I am going to cry. I am going to be upset. I'm going to need a breather and a break and maybe a couple therapy appointments. But to sit here and I don't know, at least the one thing that I do think I do right, it's a couple things I think I do right, but I definitely try to instill in my, I don't try, well, I guess I can say try because I don't really know if they're getting it or receiving it right now. But I do tell my kids, like, I am human too. And in that, I also apologize to my kids. I am terrified of growing up. I said it like I'm not grown up, but like I'm terrified of like growing up and being that kind of parent where you have built so much arrogance in your backbone that you can't humble yourself to apologize to your child. You know you wrong. And I think it sets a terrible example, and I don't want that bond with my children. If I have done something wrong, then I owe you an apology, even if I have to come back and do it later. Um, I cannot see with a straight face how I can teach my child right is right and wrong is wrong, but I believe that my age has given me some kind of arrogance to really sit here and be like just capable of some of the stuff these people are capable of, And I have all kind of excuses I could use. I've been through all kind of stuff. I've been through just a numerous stuff, health abuse, abandonment, like just all kind of stuff. Like you could list it off. I don't know, like, but as I just feel that as a parent, you're supposed to kind of take those, like you're supposed to kind of shield your children. And I don't know, a lot of times I feel like I'm being like shot at by life sometimes, and it's hard, but I'm gonna take all the bullets I can for these kids. There were, I mean, it's been plenty of times where I gave my kids the good food and I ate. Like, I have vivid memories of there being points in time in my life as a parent of eating the scraps and the leftover food, and stuff while of off their trays because things were just difficult at that point in time. Um, there have been points in time where, um, I mean, long points in time where, I mean, thank God I'm natural because my hair was not about to get done in any way, case, shape and form capacity, you know, so thank God my hair was just natural, just throwing it up and stuff because I'm sitting here trying to make sure like my children have A, B, C, D, elemental PP, like, and that they can get around and that they're not embarrassed and all this other, like, I don't know. everything ain't been perfect, and it's definitely not like a millionaire glamour lifestyle. But like I said, the arrogance of, like, I don't know. I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be that way with my children. I try my best not to be that way. If I have to, I don't lie to the kids, but I also try to make my truth age appropriate, and I just try to be like, you know, I try to explain my emotions, and I try to help them explain their emotions. I try to let them, talk and explain their stuff through their own way, because they have to find their voice. And I can tell you firsthand, dealing with the way I was raised, where this, child seen, not heard stuff, just kept a lot of my, because I was violated as a child, um, by like two of my cousins. And I can tell you right now, this whole like seen, not heard, or anything you do that's too emotional upsets me. Yeah, that caused some issues with being able to come and say like what's going on. And then seeing the follow through of stuff was not up to my degree, because I'll burn the bridge down for my kids. And I can tell you now, that's not the reaction I got. I got more of a it's family reaction. I'm not gonna say what my reaction is, because my reaction is, we just not even gonna go there. But I'm just here to tell you firsthand, like, I just don't want God to look at me like that. Like, you treated my children like that. And then it's crazy, because the Bible warns you about stuff like that, like mistreating the children, overly punishing the children, just stuff like that. Or just even as an individual, like your heart, being able to treat people how you want to be treated, being able to apologize. It even tells you a story about how a man came to a person because he owed him money. The person forgave the debt, but then that person that owed the debt went on to try to collect the money from someone else, beat him up and everything. So when the original person that forgave the second person's debt found out what the second person did to the third person, went ham. Because it matters. How can you go before God for forgiveness and kindness and mercy, and you will sit here to a child in a child's place that you're always reminding them they should be in, but then put them in grown people situations, throw them around. Like, I don't understand it. I do not understand it. I know that I have been made fun of, like, for, like, I guess not doing it the quote unquote black way. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just trying to do it in a healthy way, and I'm trying to do it in a way that I think will make my kids most prosperous later on. And I'm trying to do it in the best God fearing way I can do it, because though I may not be God, or, in any way, shape, and form and capacity, I'm not even close. That does not mean I have to make it worse and be the furthest thing from God possible. Like, so yeah, I've been through a lot, but I'm telling you, I was watching these videos, and it's just, it's crazy to do something like that. I can I know everybody got like all these different situations, but the particular videos that I saw, not only did they do it that time, but then they were like currently still doing that to their kids as they were adults, which is heartbreaking that you didn't even care to have the decency, to stop. But then to not apologize to your kid, who may have kids of their own now, this is affecting your grandkids, and you still don't care. And then to go on and be like, well, you got to choose what's more important, me or them, or to say, hey, I'm a mom, you're my daughter, like, know your place. No, you should have known yours. Like, I know mine, and mine can be under a lightning bolt. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't want to be struck by a lightning bolt. I don't. Who am I? I came from dirt. I will go back to dirt. And I tell my kids that, like, I don't give my kids the impression that, that I'm less than or I'm worthless, but I make a point to tell my children that there is no human being that can create life. There is no human being greater than the next human being, and that just includes me as well. But I also do emphasize honor a mother and a father, but I also double down and say, hey, there's a difference between a mother and a father. and someone who is just a predator in that position, you know? Just, I try to be, I don't know, like, I just try to be honest with my children. And I just try to instill a wisdom in there, and I just try to live by it. But but it is sad that, like, to see like people doing stuff like that. I know this is just so random or whatever, but it's just so sad to see people like doing that, and then they're just casually doing it and they just don't care. So, I don't know, may God shield me from ever being like that. But yeah, anyway, that's just what I saw.